Welcome to the Discourse Analyzer AI Toolkit, where articles come alive. You're hearing the audio version of our article. For the full text and an interactive experience, check out the link in the description below. Interact with any section using our AI assistant to enhance your understanding. Let's explore.
Theoretical Foundations of Discourse Analysis Simplified. Theoretical Foundations of Discourse Analysis Simplified introduces the essential theoretical underpinnings that guide the study of how language shapes, and is shaped by, social realities. The article clarifies complex concepts such as structuralism, social constructionism, and critical discourse analysis, making them accessible to a broad audience. By explaining how each theory contributes to our understanding of language in social contexts, from everyday conversations to institutional communications, it highlights the dynamic ways in which language informs social identity, organizes power relationships, and constructs societal norms. The discussion extends to the influence of major theorists like Michel Foucault and Norman Fairclough, whose work has profoundly impacted how discourse is analyzed. This introductory piece serves as a primer for anyone interested in the powerful role language plays in our social world, setting the stage for deeper exploration into the multifaceted discipline of discourse analysis. 1. Philosophical underpinnings. Discourse analysis, DA, is a broad and multifaceted field of study that examines how language is used in texts and contexts, focusing on the ways in which language produces meaning, constructs social identities, and organizes power relationships. Its theoretical foundations are interdisciplinary, drawing from linguistics, sociology, anthropology, psychology, and critical theory, among others. Here are some of the key theoretical foundations of discourse analysis. 1. Structuralism. Structuralism, particularly as developed in the work of Ferdinand de Saussure, posits that the meaning of signs, like words, is determined by their relationship to other signs within a language system. This perspective laid the groundwork for understanding language as a structure that can be analyzed to reveal deeper meanings and relationships. 2. Social constructionism. Social constructionism holds that many aspects of our reality, including knowledge, identities, and social institutions, are constructed through discourse. This theory emphasizes the role of language in shaping our perceptions of the world and ourselves, suggesting that changing the way we talk about things can alter our understanding and organization of society. 3. Critical discourse analysis, CDA, influenced by critical theory, particularly the work of the Frankfurt School. CDA looks at how discourse, language use, is involved in the exercise of power. It seeks to uncover the ideological biases and power imbalances embedded in discursive practices. Theorists like Norman Fairclough and Toon A. van Dijk have been instrumental in developing CDA, focusing on the ways in which language contributes to the perpetuation of social inequality. 4. Ethnomethodology. Developed by Harold Garfinkel, ethnomethodology explores how people use everyday conversation and social interactions to construct a shared social reality. It provides important insights into the analysis of how language is used to organize social activities, identities, and institutions. 5. Pragmatics. Pragmatics studies the ways in which context influences the interpretation of meaning. It examines how speakers use context to understand and produce utterances effectively, going beyond the literal meaning of words to include implied meanings, intentions, and social functions of language. 6. Post-structuralism and deconstruction. Post-structuralism, and deconstruction in particular, as developed by Jacques Derrida, challenges the idea of fixed meanings in texts, arguing instead for the inherent instability and multiplicity of meanings. This perspective influences discourse analysis by highlighting the ways in which meanings are negotiated and contested within and across different texts and contexts. 7. Foucauldian discourse analysis. Michel Foucault's work on discourse emphasizes the ways in which knowledge and power are intertwined and how discursive practices can both produce and limit what can be thought and said. Foucauldian analysis focuses on the role of discourse in the formation of subjects, objects, and concepts within specific historical and social contexts. These theoretical foundations contribute to a diverse and rich field of study that continues to evolve, incorporating insights from various disciplines to deepen our understanding of the role of language in social life. Discourse analysis, therefore, not only analyzes language use but also reveals the underlying social structures, power dynamics, and cultural norms that shape and are shaped by discourse. 2. Key theorists and their contributions. The field of discourse analysis has been significantly shaped by the contributions of several key theorists, each bringing unique perspectives on how language operates within social contexts. Below are some of these influential figures and their core contributions. 1. Michel Foucault, Power and Knowledge. Michel Foucault, a French philosopher and social theorist, is renowned for his analysis of power relations and how they are produced and reinforced through discourse. His work emphasizes the concept that power is not merely repressive but also productive, meaning it doesn't just prohibit or restrict actions, it also creates realities and truths. Foucault introduced several important concepts, including discursive formations, discourses, and epistemes, which refer to the ways in which knowledge is organized and regulated within different historical periods. His analysis of the relationship between power and knowledge changed how scholars perceive the role of discourse in shaping social norms, practices, and institutions. Foucault's approach to discourse analysis focuses on the macro level, examining broad historical and institutional structures of power. 2. Norman Fairclough, Critical Discourse Analysis. Norman Fairclough is a key figure in the development of critical discourse analysis, CDA, an approach that emphasizes the role of discourse in the exercise of social power and domination. Fairclough's work is particularly focused on analyzing texts in their social context to uncover the ideologies that underpin them. He argues that discourse is a form of social practice that both shapes and is shaped by existing power relations. By examining the linguistic features of texts, Fairclough's approach aims to reveal the subtle ways in which language contributes to the maintenance of social inequality. His work has been influential in various fields, including media studies, sociology, and education. 3. Deborah Tannen, Gender in Conversation. Deborah Tannen is an American academic and professor of linguistics who has made significant contributions to the understanding of gender differences in conversation. Tannen's research focuses on the conversational style and how it varies by gender, arguing that men and women often have distinct ways of speaking that reflect different cultural norms and values. Her work suggests that many communication issues between genders stem from these differing conversational styles, which she describes in terms of rapport talk and report talk. Tannen's analysis provides insights into the ways in which language constructs and reinforces gender identities and relationships, offering practical applications for improving communication across gender lines. 4. James Paul G. Discourses and Social Identities. James Paul G. is an American researcher who has contributed extensively to the fields of discourse analysis, literacy, and education. G's concept of discourses, with a capital D, is central to his work. He defines discourses as integrated patterns of language use, thinking, acting, valuing, and interacting, which are associated with specific social identities and communities. G argues that individuals acquire these discourses through participation in social practices and that mastery of a discourse involves more than just linguistic competence. It requires adopting the associated ways of being in the world. His work highlights the role of language in the construction of social identities and the ways in which access to dominant discourses can influence educational and social outcomes. Each of these theorists has contributed to the understanding of how language functions in social contexts, offering distinct perspectives on the power of discourse to shape reality, enforce social norms, and construct identities. Their work underpins much of contemporary discourse analysis, providing tools and frameworks for exploring the complex relationships between language, power, and society. Conclusion. In conclusion, discourse analysis serves as a powerful lens through which to comprehend the intricate fabric of human interaction and societal organization. From the structuralist roots of language as a system of signs to the critical insights into power dynamics offered by theorists like Foucault and Fairclough, DA continues to evolve, enriched by diverse perspectives and methodologies. By unraveling the complexities of language use, discourse analysis not only illuminates the mechanisms of social construction but also empowers us to critically engage with and reshape the discursive landscapes that shape our world. Frequently asked questions. What is discourse analysis? Discourse analysis, DA, is a diverse field that examines language use in texts and contexts. It explores how language creates meaning, constructs identities, and influences power dynamics, integrating insights from linguistics, sociology, anthropology, and other disciplines. Why is structuralism important in discourse analysis? Structuralism, as developed by Ferdinand de Saussure, argues that the meaning of words comes from their relationship to other words. This framework helps in understanding language as a system that can be analyzed to uncover deeper meanings and connections. What is social constructionism's role in DA? Social constructionism posits that many aspects of our reality, such as identities and knowledge, are constructed through discourse. It highlights the role of language in shaping our worldviews and societal organization. How does critical discourse analysis, CDA, contribute to DA? CDA examines how discourse involves the exercise of power, aiming to reveal ideological biases and power imbalances. It focuses on how language perpetuates social inequality, with theorists like Norman Fairclough leading its development. What does ethnomethodology study? Ethnomethodology investigates how everyday conversation and social interactions construct a shared reality. It offers insights into how language organizes social activities and identities. Can you explain the significance of pragmatics in DA? Pragmatics studies how context affects meaning interpretation, looking beyond literal meanings to consider implications, intentions, and social functions of language. What is post-structuralism's perspective on meaning? Post-structuralism, especially through deconstruction, challenges fixed meanings in texts, advocating for the inherent instability and plurality of meanings, thus influencing how meanings are contested in discourse. How does Foucauldian discourse analysis view power and knowledge? Foucauldian analysis, based on Michel Foucault's work, emphasizes the interconnection of knowledge and power through discourse. It explores how discursive practices produce and limit what can be thought and said, focusing on the formation of subjects and concepts. What role does Michel Foucault play in DA? Michel Foucault's analysis of power relations and discourse production has significantly influenced DA. He introduced concepts like discursive formations, exploring how power shapes knowledge, social norms, and institutions. How does Deborah Tannen's work influence DA? Deborah Tannen has contributed to understanding gender differences in conversation, highlighting how distinct conversational styles can lead to communication issues and how language reinforces gender identities. What is James Paul Gee's contribution to DA? James Paul Gee introduced the concept of discourses to describe integrated patterns of language, thinking, and acting associated with specific social identities, emphasizing how mastery of a discourse involves more than linguistic competence.